You're listening to The Word on the Streets with Joe Bingham, Jason Tasker, and Raj Pujata.
Like, the right stuff on Channel 5.
Do you think you say and enough?
Yeah. All right.
God, leave the guy alone, do you know what I mean?
I'll do it again.
His alarm just went off.
I'll do it again. All right.
Go.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to The Right Stuff on Channel 5. This week, we're going to be talking about XL bullies. Do you think your toddlers are safe now that they've been banned? I don't, because there's still paedophiles out there. We're also going to be talking about Carol Vorderman. She apparently has been sexually discriminated against. Do you agree that that's right or wrong? I don't know, but my stepdad used to call her the thinking man's crumpet when she hosted Countdown, so she's been doing it for years. I'm on free we're also going to be, it's really hard not to do it, but this is good training, I think, for me.
It is,
We're
going to be speaking about Joey Barton.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Joey Barton. Do you agree that it was right of him to put a picture of Ennio Luco on Rose West's body on Twitter?
Is that what he did?
Yeah, he did, mate. We'll get onto that. And we're also going to be talking about the hottest podcast in the world at the moment. It's not it's Club Shay with Cat Williams. Oh, God! Hi, guys. That was 6 arms.
6 arms.
6 arms, that's not bad. Do you know what I mean? It's the first time we've gone with an intro segment to kind of give people a brief of what they're going to be expecting.
Yeah. That was quite stressful. It felt like holding my breath, trying not to say.
Yeah, it's obviously
it's a tick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's because of my anxiety, mate. Why are you attacking me?
Well, fuck your anxiety.
Fuck your anxiety. Yeah, that's what we need to say. I think that's a good.
I think so. Yeah,
that's
just
a
man
good
up,
mantra.
just man up.
That's a good mantra for 2024.
I ain't got to fucking
fuck
tolerate
your
anxiety. I just won't talk
true.
to you if I don't like your arms.
If you haven't got anxiety, there's something wrong with you. You should have anxiety.
I think we should have a phone-in segment like on The Right Stuff, because I like watching the clips on The Right Stuff where he's like hosting a phone-in about like kids in schools, and then some madman from Glasgow will just phone up and say something racist down the phone. I think that's good TV, man. I reckon we should get a phone-in segment.
Yeah. I'll put it to the producers and we'll see what can happen.
Put it on Raj's Instagram. He'll just say, right, we're in the studio. Call this number.
Of course, yeah. Just have the burner.
Not call this number. Just say phone my Instagram. You
just
don't
put
want to
your
give
number
your
on
number
Instagram,
out.
and then
Put my number on Instagram.
I'm just gonna get rogue people to call.
I've had the same number since year 8.
Yeah.
I've had the same.
Ain't got enough enemies then, mate. Not had to
No,
change it.
Yeah. Ain't upset enough people.
Yeah, that's good, mate. That's good.
Right, what was segment 1 of your
I wanted to be XL bullies.
Joe's arms and ours.
Yeah. My speech impediment. Let's talk about that.
Do you know anyone with an XL bully?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
they taken it?
I don't directly know them, but I've had this conversation with a friend of mine back home. Once the ban had already been announced, he was then like, oh, and he listens to this podcast, so you know I'm talking about you, Carl. His sister then got an XL bully.
After
the ban.
Yeah.
And
that's making a stand.
Yeah, well, all I said to him was like, I don't think it's worth the headache, personally. But he was like, yeah, but it's a nice dog. But my thing was like, yeah, but like, what's wrong with just getting a Labrador, innit? Like, I just don't. For me, I've already seen people with the muzzles on their dogs, because it's not just XL bullies, is it? Like large staff.
Well, that's what I was thinking. XL. What about if you're a large bully?
Like, yeah, so large
do they still count?
staffs. Did I tell you I met like a big XL bully on New Year's Eve?
Oh, weird, like a club.
Yeah, so you know when I went to that shady fucking venue in Bermondsey, and when we got there was just a man in a tracksuit with an XL bully outside.
Oh, mate.
But I stroked his dog.
What time was this for context?
This was like 4 a.m.
I would be scared.
Yeah, on an industrial estate in Bermondsey. And I stroked his dog, thinking he was just some random man. And then he turned around to security and the ticket people and went, yo, these people were nice to my dog, so let them in for half price. And then just walked off into the darkness. Mad. And they did. They let us in for half price.
Why are you going in at 4:30?
Just didn't want to go home.
All right.
Yeah. Night was young. I think I was still home for 6, so I should have gone home.
Did you want to talk about your anxieties?
Nah, not really. Not really. Just didn't want to be at home with my thoughts.
But
he was a very nice XL bully, by all accounts.
Did it have a muzzle on?
Hold on. These people love their dogs, right? Love them.
Yeah.
Yeah? The ban's in England and Wales.
What's it, emigrate with your dog?
Move to Scotland, big man.
Yeah. You could do.
You're allowed. That's where that's where they all went.
Maybe
They
there's
all
like a
got shipped to
hotbed. Do
Scotland.
you think there's like a hotbed of XL bullies in Glasgow now?
Oh my
Yeah,
god! Yeah, but imagine if they just let them
Glasgow
loose
could
in the
do with
Highlands.
cleanse, to be honest.
Imagine they
Shout
just let
out
them loose
Glasgow.
in the Highlands.
Huh?
Imagine they just let these XL bullies loose in the Highlands.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they would form like a mad cult.
Yeah, they would have like a pack. You know, in
Yeah.
Canada when the bears come in to get food out the fucking
and they're going to
takeaway
attack
bins.
England.
Like, if
Yeah,
you
that'd
got to
be quite
think,
cool.
when you release a pig into the wild, it turns into a boar.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah,
What? So if you just release a regular pig, it'll grow horns.
yeah.
That's what a boar is.
Yeah,
Bruv, a pig will just grow horns.
yeah,
What are you laughing at me? That's what a boar
No,
is.
that's what I'm laughing at. Dumb that is.
yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
What?
If you,
So,
if
what-
you release a pig into the wild, does it turn it?
so why is it when I go to Hackney City Zoo, yeah, the pig in the sty, he's chilling. Is it a stress thing?
Did you know if you release a snake into the wild, it turns into a lizard? It just grows legs.
All right, does it grow tusks? I feel like I'm right on this. Shit.
Yeah, okay.
Just a regular pig.
Any pig.
What, so-
all right, all right.
Sped up,
Yeah,
bruv.
but imagine
I'm
you
about
got,
to shut both of you
Yeah, but
down.
imagine,
Here we go.
imagine you got Babe, yeah, Babe 2, pig in the city,
Babe was in the
and
wild.
then Babe 3, boar in the wild, and it's just on a rampage.
Or in the woods. This time he means business.
Did you
Yeah,
know
it
if you
goes
did
back
you
to-
know if you put a pig in a nightclub, then she's probably going home with Joe.
Yeah.
What, she'll come out with like tusks at the end of the night? Okay,
God, that hit us with the
any
knowledge.
pig that gets out can never can revert back in a matter of months to a state where it can exist in the wild. It will grow hairy, get tusks, and get aggressive.
But why?
They are so good at adapting, and with their scavenging nature, they can get by pretty much anywhere. So they will kind of revert back to type and morph back into... Because that's how pigs were domesticated anyway, weren't they? They would just kind of get the weakest one, kind of make them just pussies, basically.
So what happened was, they captured boars and put them on a farm, and then
The tusks fell off.
the tusks just fell out, and then they lost all their hair.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
when the first one was born, it didn't grow tusks.
Little bitch pig.
Yeah.
Yeah,
why
and
I
then
called
so
it
if you let them
Babe.
go,
Yeah, good film. That was my favourite film when I was a kid.
what, Babe?
Yeah,
Not mine, his.
I liked,
Babe
I
Pig
liked,
in the
I liked, I
City.
liked Ferdinand the Duck. Nah, the second one was shit, man. The first one was sick.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Do you not like that film?
No, it's good. I'm
But
just
just with
thinking
the
of
mice.
Babe turning into like not a babe.
If I... That's what the mice sing. Yeah.
Babe turns into a whore.
So yeah,
Well, I've learned
Inflation
something.
fucked her.
So what do you reckon an XL bully?
Everyone's eating halal now. Babe's fucked.
What do you reckon an XL bully would turn into when
that's
he got
what I mean.
released
Would it
into the
turn
wild?
into a mad
Apex
werewolf?
Apex predator, mate.
It would. It would turn into some mad dog.
Yeah.
Facebook's been quite funny though, for like all the people that are putting up these AI images of like XL. Like I saw one where it was an XL bully like pissing on 10 Downing Street, and there was the guy that put the muzzle on himself.
Oh, when he went to the pub.
Yeah, daft cunt.
What?
I mean, like look
Why
like
did he
Bane.
do that?
As to put a message out there.
What's the message? I'm a dickhead.
Yeah,
He's not very bright,
So
Yeah.
he put a muzzle on himself to protest.
and then drank a pint.
If
for
I
a
saw
straw.
that man walking down the street, I wouldn't think he's protesting XL bullies. I think
he's insane.
you're a donut.
Yeah.
And you've bit people.
Yeah.
That's what's going on
Yeah.
yeah,
here.
but can you imagine?
If anything, I'm thinking you're a risk,
Yeah.
which makes me think your dog's a risk.
Yeah, come in like Hannibal Lecter,
Yeah,
mate. That's
yeah.
what he's
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, 100%.
Can you imagine, like, if you were the dogs? Put yourself in the dog's perspective. Like, just one random day, you both put a muzzle on and then go out the house.
And he's like,
and then he's looking at him like, is this going to be that fucking weird swingers party again that we went
Yeah.
to a couple of weeks ago? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. And then the whole thing, just all you've got to do now is you got to get them neutered, register them, and pay some registration fee.
To have them wet.
Because everyone's like, this is the other thing that I don't get as well, is all these people are like, oh, so RIP to all the XL bullies, and I've seen pictures of like XL bullies in the clouds, like they're in heaven and stuff, and they're like,
They're in Scotland.
Yeah, but they're like, yeah, better off
In the
dead.
Highlands, yeah.
Better off dead.
Got low
But-
cloud cover there.
But they're like going on about like, oh, you know, like rest easy, sweet angels, and it's like you don't have to put them down. You just have to do some admin. You get it neutered, you pay a registration
Oh,
fee,
so you
and
can
you
still have
register
them?
as an owner. Yeah.
Oh, so you can't not have them.
If
They've
you've
just gotta
if
be
you've got the
treated.
dog, you've got to neuter them, You've got to register as an owner and register your dog, and then pay some fee. So basically, if you get your dog killed, that's just you going, I ain't doing
Can't
all
be
that.
lost.
I ain't doing all that.
I feel like the
Oh, I thought you're just not allowed to have them.
No, you
No,
can.
you
You're not
can
allowed to. You're not allowed to buy them
breed.
now,
Or breed them.
or breed them. But if you've already got one, you just register it, pay a fee to register a banned
So they're trying
dog.
to kill off the breed.
Yeah,
Don't bully our breed. That's their that's a slogan.
yeah,
But I think
Don't
I feel
bully
like
our breed. Oh, that's smart.
yeah.
That's smart.
They're not-
They
That's-
didn't.
they're
They
not
didn't
all
come up
dummies.
with it, mate. They
Don't
didn't come up
bully
with
our
it.
breed.
I think the ownership test would be for one of those owners, just give them a piece of paper and see if they can spell bully
Does it come
correctly.
Does
Yeah.
it come in 3 sizes though?
What?
What, small, medium,
Like,
and XL?
Yeah. Because are they all bad?
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, if you get a large bully, does
Yeah.
that mean it's banned? Or someone will look at it and think that is that a large? That might be XL to a really small person.
Yeah.
I just the only thing that I don't
Everything's XL to a kid.
Yeah, but the only thing that I don't understand with it, and I still don't, is just how out of nowhere it came. Like,
No, it was a
Pit-
string
but-
of deaths, wasn't it?
yeah, but like pit bulls, everyone was like, yeah, pit bulls, because pit bulls have famously been bred as fighting dogs in the past, and it like they always like that's been a thing for years. The XL bully thing felt like it just came out of nowhere for like 2 months. Like it had never even crossed my mind. If I'd seen someone walking one down the road, I'd be like, oh, that's a big dog. But then over 2 months, it was in the news like every day. Another attack, another attack, another death, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Right, I've got a conspiracy. Do you think it was Rishi Sunak trying to attack the underclass?
It was Rishi Sunak trying to
Why do you
fucking
say Rishi like that?
Rishi.
It's because I've got a bit nasal today.
Okay.
It was Rishi
Rishi
Sunak.
Say it like he's the E-way. He's a
There was a
Yeah, oh, sorry, man.
like
Do you
an
wanna-
evil villain is what I was going to say.
He
but I was
is.
like,
He's
yeah,
kind of like a
prick.
really
He is a
shit evil villain. Like when Luke Little won the darts, he was like, "Oh, well done, Luke." It's like, I know what you're doing here.
But there's part of me that even like I did at the time think like, is this just you trying to distract from all the shit that's going on in house? Like he had to get rid of all his fucking like most of his cabinet. You still had the whole Rwanda thing going on and the immigration centres, and it was like, oh, you've just thrown up a thing about all these dog attacks, and now you've got to ban them, and that'll be a whole thing that people will pay attention to, because it's they're not Russian sleeper agents, these XL bullies. You know what I mean? Someone didn't just say a code word and they started ripping toddlers up.
Yeah.
It was either already happening
Shame.
and nobody fucking knew.
Yeah, or something changed.
Yeah, or they've just one day gone, oh, this is a thing. Because it all
But no, it
stemmed
was
from
multiple attacks, isn't it? In it's small space.
yeah,
of
but
time.
what a coincidence that all these people were
but
just getting
what's-
ripped
what,
apart.
What? It's the vaccine.
Yeah, you reckon them dogs can smell it? Them dogs can smell little pussy
Them
holes
dogs
at the
had once they
vaccine.
had the booster, mate, they went fucking
It's the aliens.
feral.
Yeah, could be anything really. But I mean, the saddest thing was what New Year's Day, and it was like they found one that had been set on fire in an alleyway in London.
What dog?
Yeah.
Nah,
But was that someone who hates XL bullies or someone that just owns one that couldn't be bothered to look after it?
Either way, it's not a great look, is it? You know
No.
what I mean? I know
Could
someone
be
who
propaganda.
could be. Yeah,
Don't bully our dogs.
yeah. Oh, you reckon it was someone that was like they did
Inside,
it to
yeah.
be like
Look what you're doing. To
like
us.
in Four Lions, they bombed the mosque.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
Okay.
And Four Lions, they weren't the smartest either.
Nah, I don't know. Barry, the secret jihadi, mate. He was brother Baz.
Robert Dingy Rapids.
Never
Great
watched that film.
You've never seen
You've
Four
never
Lions?
seen Four Lions.
No, I just
That's
don't,
what you're doing tonight.
I just don't like the way it paints the Indian community. So
The what
Well,
community?
well, they are not Indians. So.
So I show you how much I know about the film.
It's a great film. It's one of
Great
the
film.
one of the best British comedies. That's been
I will
made,
watch
isn't
it. I
You
will
know,
watch
you'll
it.
watch it tonight.
It's hilarious.
You will talk.
It's
about
on
it
Netflix.
next week. You'll talk about
It's
it.
on Netflix.
I tell you what, I keep watching films recently. Do you ever get watch films and you're like anxious to watch films because you just like can't be doing with the stress of the film?
What?
Is that a thing? No?
What? What film? What film?
I
made
mean,
you
I
anxious?
started the new Exorcist.
Like sometimes I'll be like, oh god, I don't know if I can handle watching Four Lions.
Oh no, not like that. I'm just scary films. So like, I was watching.
What, the one we kept seeing the poster for in LA?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it
So
mad?
I was with my mate, and I thought, do you know what? I've got power with me. I'll be all right here. Turned it on, yeah, and there's a scene where the girl, basically, she goes missing and she comes back. Her mum died in like Cuba or something, and then she's laying in the bed after she's found again after 3 days. And she thinks she's only been missing for like an hour, and then her dad's talking to her, and over her dad's shoulder is just her dead mum looking like the Exorcist, staring at her. And I thought that was 10 minutes into the film. I was like,
Out.
Yeah.
let's watch Friday.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Sometimes
Let's watch
now.
Friday.
Yeah.
Then we watch Friday 2 and Friday 3 in a row.
What, next Friday? Friday after
Friday
next?
after
That's
next.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watched all 3 in a row.
Have you seen them?
I feel it's one of them got Ice Cube in.
They've all got Ice Cube in. It's his film.
They're all made
It's
by
his
Ice
film.
Cube. You ain't seen that? You got knocked the fuck out.
I think I've seen the first. Is the first one?
First one's the classic, yeah.
I think I've seen the
Smokey,
first
Chris
one.
Tucker.
Him and Smokey on the porch.
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely seen that. I
Next-
need a rewatch though. A
next-
lot of films. Okay, I'll say a lot of. I've
A
watched.
lot of ethnic films. Carry on.
No, I've watched a massive amount of films, but I normally only watch films once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the
I
same.
never watch films. So a lot of films, like, I'm trying to think. I watched something over Christmas. I'd not watched it for years. And I was like, oh, The Martian, and I was like, oh fuck, I've not actually watched this.
That's a
so I
good
couldn't
film.
actually remember the plot
Yeah.
because it was that long
Yeah,
ago when
it's
I
a
watched
good
it.
film.
So when you watch it again, you get
My memory
like years
so
later.
bad.
Years later when you watch the film again, you're like, oh wow, this is actually.
Yeah, The Martian's
You get the
a
same
good film.
feeling again when you watch
My
it.
memory's so bad. I'll go through Netflix and be like, I've never seen this before, and then episode 3, I'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah.
That's how I'm just like a fucking gormless prick.
Yeah,
So
but
which one's got Cat Williams in?
Friday after next.
Yeah.
Friday
So-
after next.
Yeah,
can't-
so you need to watch Four Lions, 100%. It's hilarious.
Okay, I'll put this on my list of
Um,
things to do.
And then
I'll put
you
it in my diary.
and then
You're doing
yeah,
that tonight.
and then you need to watch Friday. Next Friday is when he goes out to live at his cousin's house.
Who's Mike Epps?
Out in the burbs. That's a very funny film.
Mm.
And then Friday after next is
Like the Christmas
him and
special.
him and Mike Epps are like living together, and
I
they
should
get
have watched
they
that.
get burgled by Santa Claus.
Ah.
They're all very funny.
But then I looked at one of them. I looked at the Christmas one. And it had a really shit rating. I feel like
Yeah, it did go downhill.
I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of comedy films don't age well.
Cat
That's
Will-
what I'm worried about
yeah.
watching it and then thinking, oh
It was
god,
riding
this is
the
like
wave,
shit.
yeah.
Cat Williams is the best thing about Friday after next, when he plays Money Mike the pimp. He is the best character, as he's repeatedly stated on Club Shay Shay. Segue on Club Shay Shay.
Shay Shay. Who is Shay Shay?
Shannon Sharp, NFL Hall of Famer.
Oh, is he? He's
Three
fucking massive, isn't he?
Super Bowls, mate.
That
Yeah.
guy's a tank.
Yeah, he's huge, man. You know the whole
What do you
reason he
reckon his, like,
started that.
diet is?
You know the whole reason he started that podcast as well. What do you reckon that diet is?
Cognac.
Yeah.
Why is he? Does he own his own cognac or something?
Yeah.
That's what they drink.
Oh,
yeah.
is that the Shay
Yeah.
Shay? What's it called? Shay Shay.
I know, but it's his own thing.
Oh, is that the whole reason for this podcast that Cat Williams was on?
Well, the whole reason he started this podcast is because he was a host on ESPN, and they did this whole sports show. It was him, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they'd always just kind of like send shots at each other all the time through this thing, but in a very kind of like jovial way. But it started getting a bit more prickly,
Yeah.
and then it all came to a head where like Shannon Sharp is a NFL Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl winner with 2 different teams. And then this guy basically started going at him on this one show where he was saying, they were talking about Tom Brady. And then he just flat out said to Shannon Sharp, like, you're just jealous of Tom Brady's legacy because he played for longer than you and you wish that you could have played for as long as him. Shannon Sharp just went off and then just went, I'm leaving, I'm off.
Really?
Yeah. But because he's got so many big friends in like all the industries, he's just had people queuing up to come on it, man. So he's printing money. And what, Cat Williams' episode has got nearly 100 mil views in like 3
Really?
days.
Yep.
Yeah, he's killing it.
And who was he calling out? He was calling out Chris Tucker,
Everyone, mate.
Kevin Hart.
Everyone. Steve Harvey
Cedric
was the
the
first
Entertainer
one.
was he in?
Cedric.
Calling Cedric a joke thief.
I mean, all that stuff about joke thievery. It's pretty. I've watched a few videos where and it's pretty obvious that he is. But then I also think, like, what's the benefit of Cat Williams doing this now? Is he trying to stay relevant or what? I don't really know his career that much. I know it where I've seen some of his specials, but not to the point where like I know why would he be doing it now. Out of
Well, he's
all,
always said he's going to call people out, right?
oh, did he?
And I think the reason he went on this pod was largely because the other 2 had been on it.
Yeah.
So Steve Harvey had been on it, Cedric had been on it, and he just was like, these motherfuckers are lying.
Steve Harvey. I've tried to watch some of his stand up before. It was not nice.
He was never a great stand-up. He's always been a very good host.
Yeah, he's hosting it.
I mean,
That's what know it
that was
as,
that was his role in Kings of Comedy. But essentially, he basically hosted it for the other 3. But yeah, I think a big part of it is just kind of my opinion when I was watching it was that I think Kat's probably thought I've bitten my tongue for long enough on a lot of this stuff, but if you're gonna keep saying shit that I don't agree with, then I should have a right of recourse. Like I also think, I wonder whether like he's minted, and he's hands down. He had a 3-year run where he was hands down the funniest man in stand up in the early mid 2000s.
Yeah, me and the boys would gather around.
Yeah. Pimpin', Pimp Chronicles, and Cat Williams Live. 3 specials back to back where he was ahead of everyone, bar maybe Chappelle at the time. And
well, there's also a bit where Chappelle was missing, right?
yeah, when he after the Chappelle show, he went underground.
Went on a hiatus.
Yeah, but I think he probably feels like he never really gets spoken about in them circles as one of the greats. And he's killed it in Hollywood, like every role he's ever done in Hollywood. He talks about it on the podcast, I think, where he's like, even if I don't think the film's going to be great, I'll make sure my scene is great. You know, like, have you watched Atlanta?
Oh yeah, I've watched that. Actually. Is he
Mate.
in that?
You know season 2?
Oh, I've watched
Alligator Man.
Season 1.
Mate, episode 1 of season 2.
It's good though. Atlanta,
He plays
isn't it?
Alligator Man, and he's hilarious. Maybe he's just thinking like, oh, I'm always the butt of everyone's jokes. No one respects me, so fuck it.
I mean, I didn't like his. What was his? He had like some weird chain on. What was that?
You didn't like his chain?
Oh, his woke folk chain.
Yeah, well,
Is that what? Is that like his
yeah.
brand
Yeah.
or something like that?
I think it's just his thing because he's very into
But also,
seemingly
imagine
doing
being
the right thing.
called a
and-
crackhead,
Oh.
like, and you're not a crackhead. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, is that what people were saying about
Yeah,
him?
yeah. It says a crackhead.
Yeah, I think you've got a right to defend yourself if someone
But
calls
it's
you
the
a
same thing
crackhead.
Chappelle had. Everyone said Chappelle was in rehab in South Africa. Said he was a crackhead. He was like, I never did drugs. I just had a mental breakdown. I never did drugs. You drove me to it. But I think the thing that a lot of people read into it though, when he's talking about, because he keeps saying, innit, do you want to be on God's team or do you want to be with the devil? Like when that day comes. And I think a lot of people, when they talk about selling your soul to Hollywood, they do genuinely think it's signing a deal to the devil, innit? But I think the actual message of selling your soul to Hollywood is what he's saying, innit? It's like, how much are you willing to do that you don't want to do to get ahead? And he spoke about it before the Shannon Sharp interview. His whole joke about, like, you ain't putting me in a dress. He's spoken about that before. And he basically says, like, every black man who gets successful in Hollywood, at some point they'll put you in a dress. And he said it's to let you know, like, we still own you.
Yeah, a little humiliation tactic.
Yeah. And he's like, look at all of them. It's like Martin Lawrence in Big Mama's House, Kevin Hart on SNL, Eddie Murphy.
Usher on a red carpet.
White chicks.
Yeah. White chicks, with the Wayans. And like he's cool with the Wayans as well, but his whole thing is like, I'm not doing it. And
It's a bit weird. That's such a bizarre thing, isn't it? I've never thought of it.
But
like
but
that.
he's never needed anyone. There's rumors like that have circulated on the internet for years that like he's hands down the richest stand up in the world because he's never had a deal, he's never had ownership or anything. He sells out US tours every other year.
Really, that's mad.
Every other year he'll just go on tour again with a new show and sell it out and does it all himself. There's a video in it. Did you see the video? And he's driving a fucking Rolls Royce. And these guys are in a car next to him waving like 50 grand at him. And they're like, you broke bitch, Cat, you broke bitch. You ain't got this much money. And Cat's like, I am driving a Rolls Royce, my friends. And they're like, yeah, show us your money then. And he goes, I am not XXX Tentacion. And then just drives off. But he's wedged. So he's probably gone on there and he's been like, I don't need any of you people anyway. So
What is
fuck
his
yous.
Netflix deals at 8 figures as well.
Yeah.
So, and there's a new one dropping.
Yeah.
Oh, is
And
that
he-
why
and
he's
he's-
gone on? You reckon?
Well, that's that.
Yeah.
When he said that, I thought, okay, Cat.
Needs a bit of a stir because his last one wasn't that great.
His last one was decent. His last one was all right. The one he did before that,
Yeah, but
was
it's called like
was-
World War 3, but it like didn't discuss anything about World War 3.
It was all about. It was all.
I mean, surely you name a
Yeah.
show after something.
It was about World War 3, but he didn't start World War 3.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. It was about COVID.
It might be
basically.
I
now,
watched
though.
4 Lions and there weren't a single lion in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. Like, you know what I mean.
But he was talking about what he considers to be World War 3, which was like COVID and the government lying to you, basically. And it wasn't bad. His problem is he'll never get the heights of those 3 great ones that he did. But
So
then
do you think
they
there's a little
rarely
bit
do.
of kind of envy there, like?
There's definitely an element of bitterness in his voice, yeah. Because imagine what, like, working as hard as the people around you and they're getting what you didn't get because you didn't give in to what people were telling you to do. There's an element of bitterness there for sure.
And Chappelle tells the same story where you ever watched his
Oprah.
you watch his Oprah interview and you watch the Birdcage Paradigm, which is his special that's on Netflix where he talks about Hollywood after Me Too. And he talks about what happened with the Chappelle show thing. And he basically explains it like he got gaslit by his studio. So they said, we want to make a new series. And he said, I need a bit of time to work on it. And they were like, no, it's now or never. And here's the money. So he just left. And his dad was really sick, innit, back in Ohio. And he said he almost missed his dad's last like final hours because of these people in Hollywood pissing him about. He said at one point, he said he'd been working in this office for so many years. He's like, you're on autopilot when you go in there. You know, you walk in, say hello to these people, and then you turn left and there's the door to your office. He said, I went in and my door to my office wasn't there. They'd moved it. They'd plastered over the wall and put my door somewhere else. He's like, they were just fucking with me.
That's mad, isn't it?
And he was like, they just gaslit me. But he left. And then he was in the papers being called a crackhead and all that stuff.
And the thing is that when you're talking about signing your life away, essentially, all that kind of joke thievery, things like that, it goes on. Like, think how many people that's only the famous people that they're stealing in broad daylight. Imagine
we had it here. You know what I mean?
Imagine how many people do it just where you're stealing the best joke of someone who might be like an open mic or something. That might have one really good joke.
Which does happen.
It's like a one-hit wonder. Like, and then
Yeah.
it's go, okay, I'll just use that. They're never gonna, might not even see them in a year's time. I'll just use it for my own, change it a little bit.
And I think some people genuinely don't consider it theft because I think some people will hear a joke that they think's great, and then they'll think, oh, but I've got a better punchline for that. And they'll use 90% of someone's joke, but with a different punchline. But then to them, they're like, that's my own joke.
But what's the
and you're
difference
like,
between
it's
that
not.
and writing a song? Like, that's the same thing, isn't it?
My friend said the same thing yesterday to me. He said, is it not the same as music theory? All
It's not the
music
same
is
respect,
written around the
isn't it?
same four
Or
chords.
not the same kind of copyright whereby you're plagiarising something. It's more, oh, this guy's just got up there and said something.
I think there's an element of them lot, like their generation was like, no social media. If I'm performing this joke, no one's recording me. The people in this room are the people that are going to hear it. They didn't think about the future and getting caught out.
Yeah. But people still do it now.
But I suppose it was on their specials as well, so...
That's the thing that got him, weren't it? That's the thing that killed him. He was like, I did the joke on TV, but only so many people who watched that show saw it. And then he was like, oh, and then I saw Cedric do it on Kings of Comedy. The biggest comedy tour the world had ever seen. Like, mad. He is mad. But I do think a big part of it is probably you would feel quite bitter and quite hard done by if you felt like only because of your morals, like you were ultimately being punished, essentially. There's also a lot of stuff he said in there which just categorically isn't true. So you've got to take a lot of it with a pinch of salt. You know what I mean? Like, Kevin Hart is not a plant. Like, when he was talking about, oh, how does Kevin go from being a stand-up in New York to being huge in LA? And so, oh, read his book. Like, he talks about it in his book. He got big in New York. His agent got him a movie deal. So he went to LA. The movie flopped because it got pirated everywhere. So he did Soul Plane. Soul Plane flopped because it got pirated. Then he did Paper Soldiers. He said he had people coming up to him in the barbershop saying, you're funny in Paper Soldiers. And the film hadn't even come out in the cinema yet. And then he got put on a retainer from a TV network for a sitcom that got cancelled after the pilot. Because he was on a retainer, he had to sit in LA for 12 months doing nothing. Like, he talks about it in his book. He's like, I went to LA and I flopped.
So some of that is kind of when you're questioning someone's origin story, essentially, that is a little bit... You need to have all your ducks in a row there, don't you? Before you start firing shots.
I mean
something,
he might know
something
some
as black
shit.
and white as like stealing a joke. Yeah, okay, you can see that. Whereas questioning someone's
Well, yeah, I've seen the
backstory.
clips. The theft is the theft, man. Like,
Yeah, they are side
clear
by
as
side.
day, and they can't really stand up and say, yo, like the petrol price one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so...
And the Cedric one as well. The Cedric
I ain't
one's...
seen the said one, but
Have you watched Kings of Comedy, haven't it?
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
enough to like remember.
I've watched
It's,
the
it's
bits
Cedric's
and
big closing bit when he talks about driving through the hood in the car and you got
Yeah,
your
yeah.
Oh,
music
it's
so
literally
loud
exactly
that
the same.
the
Except
same.
he goes, "Oh, I'm in space."
It's the same bit, yeah. Except Cat's bit is like he's driving a spaceship, and Cedric's is the car. But it's it's weird, isn't it? But you are right. Like the internet is just the internet gives you the ability to shout into the void, innit? And some people will listen.
Do you think
That's
some
what's
people are
happening with
worried?
Joey Barton.
Joey Barton.
Segway.
Yeah.
I'm good at this hosting shit.
Yeah, yeah.
If I didn't shout Segway, it'd be seamless.
Yeah, it would. It's got to sound smooth, I think.
Joey
Barton.
He's shouting into the void.
Yeah, so give him a bit of a background, Joe, on what he's been doing.
Yeah, so Joey Barton, famously, he kicked his partner in the face. He put a cigar out in a youth player's eye. And
He also played for Man City.
He also played for Man City, yeah. And he was manager at Fleetwood Town. Yeah. And then, oddly, after getting sacked from Fleetwood Town, he decided that he was going to become a serial tweeter of women have no place in men's sport, basically, was his big teeing off argument, wasn't it?
Yeah, the thing is, though, he's always been a bit of a wrong 'un, hasn't he?
Yeah. He runs in the family.
But
we won't go into that. But.
I think he's definitely not the brightest guy. I'm surprised he got as many. Like, are you surprised? Like, was Joey Barton even a good footballer?
He was at the time, I would argue he was a predominantly average.
He was very average.
Premier
wasn't
League
he was
footballer.
he was a fucking
He was a mid-
GCSE Roy Keane.
He was a mid.
Yeah, he was
middling.
definitely. He was like a B-Tech Roy Keane, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was on a par with Stephen Ireland. You know what I mean? He
probably had one good season.
better than 99% of people will ever be at football. But
Do you think? Yeah, but there's probably women footballers that are better than Joey Barton. Maybe that's why he's so bitter.
I reckon. Because his whole thing now, his latest argument on Twitter is that he's going to change his name to Josephine Barton and do a season in the Women's Super League. And he's like, I will win Player of the Year.
I mean, I don't think it's that easy, but...
No, I think there's a whole process medically he's got to go through.
Women's football has got better because I seen some women's football back in the day and it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But they've
Yeah,
leveled up massively, man.
And the people he's going after are... Like, can you imagine if you watch football and that's like the biggest... thing for you when you're there, I fucking can't handle all these fucking women commentators. Oh god, it's fucking ruining my day.
There's a thing though.
Calm down, mate.
Again, yeah. I wonder if
that was my Joe Barton impression.
It was good. Yeah, I wonder if it like similar to the Cat Williams thing of him being annoyed that he's not getting what others are. Like, is he pissed off because he's not getting asked to be a pundit?
Yeah, that's what it is.
But like. He's like, oh, but Eni Aluko is. And it's like, yeah, but you got one England cap. Eni Aluko like had fucking loads, mate. Just because it was for a different fucking gender. Like, she's still a... And equally, the videos that he pulls up, so that his latest one, when he put Eni Aluko's head on Rose West's body, when ITV put a statement out saying this is unacceptable.
Who's Rose West?
Like Fred and Rose West.
Fred and Rose West, so
the
serial
murderers.
killers.
All right.
Bit of a random one, isn't it?
Yeah, because he was like, you're killing football, basically. Right. But the thing was, she was basically talking about Everton getting a points deduction, and then she was like, yeah, but they followed up that points deduction really well with some big wins, and they've got players that are playing really well. And she was trying to mention Dwight McNeil, I think, as playing well, but she went, I think one of their standout players has been Dwight. Anyway, they've been playing really well. She just forgot what his name was.
Yeah, which happens.
My man throws that clip up. This is shit, the standard of the punditry. And I'm like, did you watch Soccer Saturday back in the day? Like, that wasn't punditry. That was just an old boys club of lads just taking the piss out of each other.
If
it
Paul
wasn't
Merson
punditry.
forgets something, then it's fucking hilarious.
Paul Merson didn't know how to pronounce Azpilicueta and just went, we'll call him Dave. And for his whole time in England, he was Dave. That was funny, but Eni Aluko forgetting Dwight McNeil's name you're a disgrace, and you're only on TV because you're black and you're a
If Eni Aluko
woman.
styled it out and did that,
Dropped a banter.
Would that be funny?
If she dropped a Keys and Graves level banter, then yeah, I think he would have been fine.
Why is it that much of a big deal? I don't get it.
I think because he's not being offered what he thinks he deserves.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I've listened to interviews with him though. He's like, I'm a feminist. I've got a fucking daughter.
Yeah,
It's like, if you're a feminist, then
Imagine
how?
you're his
Why
daughter.
do you hate women so
It is
much?
that equivalent though, isn't it, of saying like, oh, how can I be a sexist? My mum's a woman. It's that
Yeah.
classic thing. I think a lot of it does come down to, let's get all psychological hour. This is it all stems on like
How can I be
Did you give him
racist?
a
My dad's
Haribo?
black.
what the, I had a coffee on it. It's all like, I think a lot of it stems from like ego, innit? Like how you treat others. A lot of it comes from like your own ego and your own perception of yourself. And if you've got an inflated idea of yourself, you are just going to become a hater if you don't think that
Let's have it
you're
right.
getting what you deserve.
He was a failed football player. He
I
was
would-
a failed manager.
I would argue
I mean,
though.
I
I would
say
argue.
failed. He was
yeah.
mediocre.
I would.
Yeah, but
I would
had
argue
potential
he had
to be
a
good player.
I reckon he probably fulfilled his potential.
Did-
He probably played to as good a level as he could play, and he had a decent career. He got to play abroad for a bit.
The biggest thing I remember about his career is him calling Thiago Silva a ladyboy.
Yeah, and the whole kicking out when City won the league.
What about
and
the
What
where
do you
was he
remember
when
about
he
Joey
was
Barton's career?
Trying to talk French or something. Do you remember
Marseille.
that?
He went to Marseille and got a French accent on his first press conference.
Exactly. So who's the fucking idiot?
I do.
That's
no.
good punditry.
Yeah, that's
You should put him on French TV.
cheese and grey banter.
Have you heard it?
It is good.
We'll share the clip in the description of Joey Barton trying to speak French.
Everybody speak about is this tackle. Nobody speaks about a 50-yard pass that kills Balmon and causes a red card for him.
Well,
He fucking
Ricard.
mate, that's Steve
Ricard.
McLaren
Is that when he
level.
grew? Is that when he grew the Tintin moustache as well? Yeah.
That's Steve McLaren level,
I
isn't it?
shall
Like the
know.
guy's a fucking donut.
Steve McLaren.
Steve. That guy's a
Yeah.
fucking donut. I've never seen that clip before.
The thing that
I
the
might
only
have a scrap with Joey Barton actually.
nah,
You reckon?
I reckon I'd fucking chin him.
Nah.
I reckon he's hard
he'll-
as nails.
He'll XL bully
No,
you.
no,
apart, bro.
No,
He'll put a muzzle on you and walk you around the park.
yeah, he'd come out
He'll
like
put you
fucking
in the
mean
leather
machine.
straps, bro.
No, it'd have to be in a controlled environment.
you need
I
to
don't
go
want
into
fucking
training.
biting my toes off or anything like
Nah.
that.
You want like an official fight?
Yeah, and I'd
You
have like
call out Joey Barton.
Joey
bro.
Barton, if you want it, mate, I'm fucking here.
Okay.
We'll do it for charity or something, you know, like saving XL bullies
Women's,
or
nah,
something.
do it for women's football.
Do it for women's football, yeah. Joey Barton, I want to have a scrap with you to support women's football because you're such a big feminist. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
Mike, clip that, please.
Yeah. Clip that. That wasn't in my roundup of the episode because I didn't know that was coming. But, I'm in here. But I feel like Eddie Hearn now. Eddie Perm.
I reckon I could have him, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I reckon he's a mad cunt. The only thing that I don't get with the whole Joey Barton thing is, I think to me it speaks of like a bigger issue at the minute, which is Twitter has now, especially since Elon took it over, Twitter has become this lawless space, isn't it? Where anyone can say anything. Oh my God, did you see the guy? He's like a US politician, and he did the thing where he was like, apparently Twitter had implemented an AI that detected hate speech,
Right.
and it would automatically flag any tweets with hate speech. And this guy was like, over Christmas, he was like, I'm gonna test if it works, and then he just put test and then like 5 slurs, but like bad stuff.
Like N-words.
And he put like 40 out, just back to back of just every slur you could possibly imagine, just to see if they got flagged. And everyone was like, this ain't a test, you've just always wanted to do this. but like Twitter's a mess, man.
Yeah.
And I just think like when I look at Joey Barton and what he's doing, he's winning at the minute because he's getting the attention that he wants on it.
Didn't
And
Gary Neville pipe in?
Gary Neville did.
What did he say?
It was like,
He was just, he was basically like keep out, and then Joey Barton was like, all right, teabag, you fucking seat sniffer. Yeah, like going in. But this is the
You're a
thing,
serf.
he's winning because he's getting the attention. Like, and
That's
I'm
what you
just
want.
like, just ignore him, innit? I'm trying to find these racism tests that this man did.
It's only
now.
going to be a matter of time before GB News has GB Sports.
Well, another
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that happened on GB News actually was and on Twitter was with Carol Vorderman.
What's that?
So basically, Carol Vorderman got into a spat with the Conservative MP Sean Bailey. So Sean Bailey went on GB News and basically said that I've got it up actually. He said on one hand she's a serious political commentator, and then if you look at her Instagram, it's all pictures of her bum and boobs. What is it? She can't be both.
Talking about Carol.
Yeah, talking about our Carol.
Carol's throwing out pictures like that.
Yeah, when
I know,
Carol-
like,
when-
give her a follow
follow
after.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Carol's
Carol's going down like that.
Carol's first post on TikTok was
She's intelligent
Was
and she's
Herbert
sexy.
Herbert a dumpy in a hot tub.
Shut the front door. Not
Yep.
Carol.
But but that's the thing. It's one of those where it's the same kind of thing.
She's not allowed to be both. Basically.
Not allowed to be both. Right? She's not. He's just basically being sexy. He's a guy who's caught up in the Partygate thing as well. So he's kind of never apologised for that. And then he's trying to turn everything into, rather than have an actual debate with her, he's trying to just turn it into, oh, you're just a woman with a pair of tits.
Yeah, so his whole argument is she isn't allowed to post pictures where she thinks she looks nice and also be allowed to have an opinion. Is that kind of his whole?
He basically said the point I was trying to
like
make.
pick a lane.
The point I was trying to make is Carol lives a world of glitz and celebrity on her Instagram portrays, but simultaneously demonises and bullies those who hold a different political view to her own. I strongly support free speech. He's kind of contradicting himself there, really, in what he's saying.
I support free speech unless you've got an OnlyFans.
He's saying, look, I'm apologising, but at the same time,
Carol got an
she is a
OnlyFans.
bully.
I don't know. You don't
She's a big Labour supporter, basically. That's why they're kind of getting
I want to know the real shit. She got an OnlyFans or not?
I don't think so, but her Twitter's pretty close. Or not her Twitter, Instagram.
What is she, like 50, 60?
She's in her 60s now, surely.
60.
Who would you rather have as an MP? Sean Bailey or Carol Vorderman?
I don't even know who the fuck Sean Bailey is.
Exactly,
I'll go
so
for
let's get Carol in.
Vorderman. Yeah, I used to like.
Carol's not running though, is she?
She's been running on her Instagram, mate. That's
Yeah.
it.
She's been running things, man. I tell
So
ya.
she just goes on there to debate.
Yeah, but also there's a whole thing with like that. That's the whole thing with Countdown, isn't it? That like Carol Vorderman was like the attractive, like helped present it, did the letters and the numbers and that.
But she was
did it
objectified.
because she was there to be objectified, but also like she was smart. And they did the same thing when they put Rachel Riley in. Like,
Riley,
that wasn't
same
new. They were like, oh, she's hot and she's sick at maths. You know what I mean? Like they're still doing the same thing.
Yeah, and you can't be criticised just because you're attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're intelligent as well. Like, people give shit to fit people when they're not so clever, don't they? So why?
And I've always
if they are clever, then you're still going to give them shit because they're clever and they're attractive.
I've always said as well, any woman who is making millions out of OnlyFans, they're not dumb.
Yeah.
Like they're
Kudos to them.
You know what I mean? Like I was talking to my mate about it a few months ago, and I was like, in years to come, I wonder if this will be seen as like a real movement and a step forward potentially in feminism, because they've basically gone, you're going to objectify me and look at me as a sexual object anyway, but I've taken all your money, so like you're going to do it regardless, but I've paid to put all my kids through school, so who's the dickhead?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone moans about it and being like, oh, digital footprint. How can you live with yourself putting these pictures up? And it's like, it's your husband who's paying for them. Like, who's the dickhead? Who's the problem? It's us.
Yeah, it's just obviously the stigma attached to it, and obviously the kids going to school and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But you know, like what's that? Is it Riley Reid who had not Riley Reid? Who's the porn star that fucking had a kid? But she was huge. Lana Rhodes, that was it, because they were trying to figure out what NBA player she had a kid with, innit?
Lana Rhodes.
She was like the biggest porn star in America or something. And then she retired because she's like, I'm pregnant, I'm having a kid. And everyone was like, I'd hate to be that kid. You're getting cooked at school. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, maybe. But he's not going to be going to a public school. You know what I mean? Like, she's wedged because of it. So he's going to be going to a private school where they're like, oh, my dad.
Worse,
yeah, but it's like, my dad runs a bank. Where does all your family money come from? My mum was a porn star.
The woman who used to be in Game of Thrones, she was a porn star.
Who?
The one that was like Turkish.
Khaleesi.
No, the one who was with
Tyrion.
Go on, what was that?
The dwarf.
I don't think you can say dwarf.
No,
Little man.
Little person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little shit. I didn't say that.
He was on Epstein.
Little person.
He was on Epstein's Island with Stephen Hawking, bro, solving equations.
What, Vern Troyer?
Yeah, Vern Troyer. R.I.P. mate.
Yeah, again, she was a porn star before she got into movies and stuff.
So was Cameron Diaz, wasn't she? And Sylvester Stallone.
Keely Hazel.
Who's that? Oh, she used to do Page 3, innit?
She used to do Page 3. Now she's with the main geezer she's in Ted Lasso.
Is
No,
she?
yeah, she's the
Oh
girlfriend.
shit! Yeah.
And now she's with the main guy. What's his name? Is it Jace?
Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah,
Is
she's
she?
with him.
I didn't know that.
So do you know what I mean?
No, is that why he's
He's
in
not a
London? Is
bad
that why he's
route
in
in.
London all the
She's
time?
the girlfriend of who?
It's kind of just
she
like the
was
comedians.
Jamie Tartt's missus, and then she becomes Roy Kent's missus.
It's kind of like the comedians who come into it and they've got an acting background and then they kind of drift off into acting.
Listen, it is.
They kind of start like
Pays
they're in
the
porn.
bills.
Yeah.
They're in porn. They're kind of acting,
They're
and then they
thinking,
go into real
listen,
films.
I'm gonna fuck anyway. I might as well get
Yeah.
paid for it.
Is it any different to the comedians who take the money to go on GB News, but
Or do a commercial?
don't believe half the shit they spout out, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't think so.
Yeah, a lot of comedians on GB News now.
There are a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you meet them in the green room, and you're like, you're a normal person.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But they're just getting paid, man.
Do you ever think that as well? Like it's quite a good record of a moment in time, isn't it? If you're in a porn film, you're like, oh god, I was looking pretty good then.
Yeah, I'd just keep photos, but
Bit of nostalgia.
yeah, there's me getting my back blown out at 26, man. I was a champ.
Looking good.
Oh man.
Oh,
You
God.
know what? Carol Vorderman, she can do what she wants, man. If she wants to do Sudoku with her tits out, fuck, good for her.
Does she do Sudoku with her tits out?
I don't know, maybe at home in the bath, but
Oh man, to be the bathwater.
I feel
Each
like
to
we're
their
going
own.
down a... We're going to nearly wrap up, but I feel like we're going down a path of shit males, which
Yeah.
is obviously going to be really good for getting female listeners on board. So
Yeah.
welcome.
it's because I'm hungry.
Is that why?
Yeah,
What
it's hit me.
about
My
Oscar
fast
Pistorius?
just opened.
About Oscar Pistorius? Oh,
He's getting
fucking
released.
hell. Another strong male role model.
What do you mean he wasn't he? He's not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
To
imagine
be
if-
honest, I'm
Can
surprised.
imagine if he was still your
I'm
still your
surprised he
hero.
only got 13 years. I
Yeah.
don't think he had. a
Yeah,
leg
can
to
you imagine?
stand
Can you
on.
imagine if it was only?
Ba-dum.
Yeah, I can. I saw something. the
I'm
other-
surprised he shot her, considering he had so many blades. But
Fucking. Have you seen apparently now?
Digging up the old material.
blades.
Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently, he's a
Running
fat. He's
blades.
no,
The
I
running
know, I
blades.
know.
We got it, we
The
got it.
blades.
Yeah, I
He
know,
stabbed
yeah.
her, shot her.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it killed. Yeah, it killed.
Yeah, smashed. He killed as well.
Yeah. Apparently, he's a fat chain smoker now, isn't he? After all them years in
Is he a
prison.
fat chain smoker?
Yeah.
I bet.
I
He's
always think. Listen, I just think, right. If you're his family, right, he's gonna come out fat, right. First of all, how's he losing the weight? That's gonna be difficult with no legs. He's got to put his blades on. All right,
just do pull-ups.
yeah, all right, cool. He'll do that. But just if he's gonna smoke and you don't want him to smoke, wouldn't you just take his legs away?
Where do you smoke in prison, by the way?
South African prison, isn't it?
Oh, it's just like everyone's smoking. You're either burning or you're fucking
Oh, I
shitting
mean,
in
there's
cigs.
smoke here as well. It's the currency, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But where do you smoke? I've always...
You can just smoke in
You
your
sell,
cell.
probably.
Oh, can you just smoke it yourself? I thought it might be...
Well, you're not allowed to
No.
smoke regardless, so it doesn't matter where you smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not meant to be able
you
to
know,
smoke.
you put the bag over the thing with the thing. And
Yeah,
Mate,
like you
I
do
was-
when you go in a hotel room.
Mate, I saw a video the other day and it said date night in prison, and it was a guy in an American prison who was selling a date night setup, and it was water balloons filled up with like a hole in between the two water balloons. And this guy is like, yeah, you got your girlfriend right here, man. He's like slapping his boobs and he's like, oh, what's that? Y'all motherfuckers like the BBWs? I got those too, dog. And it's just bigger balloons and bigger balloons. And
What,
this,
so you can shag the balloon?
yeah, like,
you put the
yeah.
shit in
Do you
between.
reckon
Mad.
Oscar's been up
And
to
he
that?
was like selling date nights to people. I was like, oh my, this man's an
He'll pop the
entrepreneur.
balloons though, won't he?
You know what I mean? That's his diet, though, isn't it? You just steal his legs. He can't go out to go get cigarettes or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think,
He must have had preferential treatment in jail,
I reckon. So.
yeah.
which is quite sad, really, to think, but it's probably true.
Both for his safety. Isn't it?
I just think as
Fuck
well.
his
Like,
safety.
do you not think as well though? Like if
He's
you
already doing
were
the time.
But he's not doing the time.
if you were regular
What,
degular,
so
though,
you think his sentence is long enough?
No, I don't. But I'm saying.
Okay, just clarify that.
I'm just saying that he was already in prison, right? So he doesn't deserve to be killed in prison.
Yeah.
if he was, what do you think's worse? And then we'll finish on this. Yeah, being just regular degular, yeah,
Regular, degular.
yeah, and then going,
P
and then-
diddly diddly.
yeah,
Diddley
and
Island.
then going to
Diddly
prison.
Island.
Diddley
Yeah,
squat.
imagine being just normal guy, and then you get sent to prison, and then you've just got to come out and go back to your normal life. It's got to be worse to be like Paralympian superstar and have it all taken away, and now you've got to come back out fucking fat, chain smoking, can't do nothing. You know, because you're not going back.
Yeah, you're a paperweight.
Because you're not going back to the guy you had. You're not going back to the. You're fucking.
What? He's a paperweight. That's what he is.
What? Because you just put him on a desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hold the door open.
Get him a
with
desk
Oscar
job.
Pistorius. Hold that door open.
Man's a draft excluder. Well, we found a job for him at least. Yeah, fucking hell. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
What's worse? You asked me a question.
No, I'm saying it's got to be worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
What,
100%.
losing everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, if
He had his life pretty good. Like, he was married to a fucking supermodel.
She was stunning, wasn't she?
It was amazing. Like, she was probably a really nice girl.
my favorite thing about the whole incident was at the time when he did it, his Nike marketing campaign was out, weren't it? And the billboard that he was on was him in the starting blocks, and the slogan was "faster than a bullet from a gun." Yeah, quite poetic, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be getting... He's not allowed to do any films or anything until 2029, is he?
Yeah, but that's the thing, and
Netflix will be in development.
His family
with
are
it.
wedged anywhere, don't they? Like they live in this big fucking compound in Pretoria, so it'll just look after. It'll just get looked after by them for a few years.
He's
and
definitely
then,
put a
let's
bit of
be
money away
honest,
on the side. He probably set up a company when he was going through trial. Oh, I'm bankrupt. I can't afford my legal fees. He's got a bit.
If Amanda Knox can get a book deal, he's getting a book deal. You know what I mean? And Amanda Knox 100% killed that bird.
Yeah,
So,
he'll probably do an OJ and release that type of thing.
well, and then get sent back down for trying to steal
Yeah.
his old
Oh, I
running
didn't do
blades.
it, and then like start trying to steal his old memorabilia back.
Yeah. What's his memorabilia?
I don't know, some fucking
Shell casings.
Yeah, his old legs.
No,
Can't
he
remember.
won a few. He won a
How did he
few
lose his legs?
medals.
Don't know.
He was born with. I think he was born with some kind of.
He was born with like a dolphin's tail. He was a merman, and they just cut him off.
All right, tune in. Tune in next week. Like,
for an update.
follow, subscribe.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Imagine if I.
This has been the Word on the Streets. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.